Hey, what's going on, guys? It's been a while. I just got back from my vacation with my family, so that's why I didn't post it all this weekend. But I did want to make a video kind of stating where I was and what I did. And I was out in Florida with my family. We went to the beach. We kind of had our little vacation. The weather was pretty nice compared to where I am. And unfortunately, I did get sick. So that's why I sound so nasally or clogged up in this video, is because I'm sick. A lot of it is because of sleep schedule. My sleep schedule has been absolutely terrible. There were multiple days in which unforeseen things had woken me up early, and I feel like absolute garbage because I would try and go back to sleep, and then I would wake up, and then later in the day I'd get tired, so then I want a nap, and then I stay up late because of it, and it's a terrible, terrible cycle. So luckily, I've gotten home and I'm trying to fix my sleep schedule, at least get it back on to like something stable where I'm going to bed and waking up at like a similar time at least. Because usually for me, I go to bed at around 2 a.m. and wake up at like 10 or 11. Just really depends on how tired I am. I had a really good time in Florida. I got to see my grandparents, which was nice. I played I played Brawl Stars actually, and I grinded one character. I think her name was Belle, all the way from 0 to like 600 trophies in like one sitting. It was crazy. I don't play that game that much, but it's not as bad as I remember it being. While I was in Florida, I also took a bunch of photos, so I have properly secured them this time, and I hope to go and process them sometime this week. I was gonna go today, but I woke up, I blew my nose, and there was just blood everywhere, and I was like, probably shouldn't leave the house until I at least get better. I think mainly my nose is dry, but I don't want to risk getting anyone else sick because I kind of caused this on myself because before we left for Florida, one of my brothers was sick, and I think I picked up whatever he had. Some other things that I did while on my little vacation is I read a lot of my JoJo's Bizarre Adventure manga, and I had like 3 books that I haven't read yet, and so I read the rest of those. I'm almost done with one of them, actually. And I was surprised yesterday when I checked, but I got the delightful heads up that Steel Ball Run is finally being made in English, which is so awesome. I'm glad they went straight from Stone Ocean right into Steel Ball Run because Steel Ball Run, for me, is one of my most favorite parts. I read it originally online through a website when I was in France, and now being able to get a physical copy of it, have like an official translation, will be really cool because a lot of the fights in Part 7 are really awesome. The character development's amazing. Part 7 overall, one of the best, I would have to say. On a different topic, I'm kind of in a rut right now on what I want to do with myself hobby wise. Because I have a bunch of different hobbies, and I am making myself a jack of all trades. I don't really want that to happen. Sometimes I really like to write, sometimes I really like to draw, sometimes I really like making these YouTube videos, sometimes I like making music, and trying to juggle all of those is kind of a hassle. I would like to concentrate more like on YouTube and on drawing because those are the 2 things that I think are the least amount of effort without having to like solely concentrate on one or the other. Like drawing, I can do passively. Making videos, I can kind of do passively when I find myself with time. Whereas music, there's kind of like a really hard dedication to it because if you want to make a song, you really have to make the structure for the song, and you have to come up, with everything, the lyrics, the beat, the melody, all that. And it is a lot of work. And I have made a couple songs, and it has taken me a couple hours. And obviously, I don't know how to properly produce things. When I use my mic that I have here for like using my voice, it doesn't come out the way that I want to at least hear it, mainly due to this not being a singing mic. This is a more so gaming mic or communication mic, which is fine. But I'm pretty sure there's a way I can make it turn out a little bit better and not sound so crunchy or bad. I don't know. I don't really know how to explain the quality of the mic in comparison or when I'm singing. When it comes to writing, there's a lot of forethought into it, and I have a bunch of great ideas, but my issue is that I tend to think of an idea, try and go with it, and then eventually I get really stuck or I get bored, and it causes me to lose interest. I started writing kind of a story in my head a while ago, and it's about 10 pages in like a Word document, which in my head is like 20 pages in like a small like book. So that concluded like the first chapter of what I wanted to do, but it could be a short story. The only thing is there's no substance in that short story besides seeing like a fragment of a character. And that is kind of how I want the book to go. I want fragments to kind of be picked up throughout the book. That way people can get a better understanding over time of who this character is, their motivations, stuff like that. But I don't really feel too committed after I finish the first chapter, which sucks. Maybe I'll find myself with some time when I'm bored during school, like in between classes, where I'm like, okay, I'm going to go and do writing now because I don't really want to do these other things, and procrastinate a little bit. This week has been a little bit odd for me. I've had these feelings re-emerge from within my consciousness from prior girls that I've liked, and one of them was spurred from a dream. I do have an entry, and I do want to post this entry, so entries are back, which is great. It's not just drawings. I do have, I think, 2 or 3 entries in my book, but I want to wait till I have a little bit more of a backlog for it where I can slowly roll them out. So we'll get to entries. Don't worry about it. In case of the girls, though, it's weird because one of them I don't talk to anymore. But in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, I fumbled so hard, you know. Like this really sucks. When in reality, when I look at it from a logical standpoint, there's a bunch of red flags for this person. It's like, hey, it's a good thing you avoided this person. I think part of me is just I was really attracted to her, and she was very, very cute, in which I kind of got blinded by that. And the other person is very extroverted, and she is always like, we always send memes to each other. We always ask like, hey, what's up? Like, we still act like we're friends, but for me, deep down inside, there's always a part of me that is like, gosh, you are like the one in my head. But then again, a red flag comes up being like, well, if she thought you were also the one, she wouldn't choose like 3 different guys before you, you know? If she were to break up with her boyfriend now and then come to you, and it would only serve for her purpose as I just wanted to be young and bombastic, and now I actually do want to settle down and be with you. It kind of defeats the purpose of, well, I wanted you, you know, years ago when I saw you and met you and said, you are the one. Like, I would be in a relationship with you. And so that pushing away of me to the sidelines really doesn't sit well with me if I were to settle down with this person. And now for me, I'm just left with no one. There's no girls in my life right now that I have feelings for or want to be with. Part of it is I'm not social enough. I don't go out and go to functions. But part of that is because I don't drink. Rarely at all do I drink. I'll drink maybe on like a holiday or something. And it won't even be a lot either. Like, it'll be like literally 1 drink and I'm done. And part of it is I'm very awkward around people. I will be very out of pocket sometimes, or I will reference something without enough context for the other person to understand what I'm talking about. And it'll be very off-putting for them. And so I feel like that part of me kind of drives away people. And it's weird because I get all these comments. My sister's friends tell my sister, oh, your brother's so good looking or so hot or whatever, but it's none of them, go after me. And I think it's because they've seen me be weird when I'm around the house when they come over to visit. And seeing that for them may not be appealing, I have no clue. I really don't. Personally, I don't really want to get with any of my sister's friends because that's kind of going to suck if we would then break up and then they would come over to see my sister because they're friends. I really don't want to cause something like that. That would be bad, in my opinion. But as of now, I don't have anyone. Literally no one. I'm hoping maybe this last semester, maybe I'll find someone, but who knows? Because for me, I am in the end of my college career before I kind of transition into my master's, in which who knows what that will be like, right? If I get with someone who's still having to go through college while I'm then now like full-time working and then going to school for a master's, like how will that dynamic work? Because I feel like I wouldn't end up seeing them a lot, So I've rambled on for quite a while. My mind tends to do that. I don't really know what else there is to say for me. I will post those entries when I get a couple more in, and I'll start rolling them out because I know a lot of people liked seeing those entries. It was kind of their favorite thing on this channel, and I do agree. I like it too. It's just I tend to write whenever I feel like it, which means that it's very inconsistent. And the only reason that it was consistent was because I had a backlog of it for 9 months or something like that before I actually started posting those entries. With that being said, I hope you guys have a good week. Make sure to buckle up, look both ways, say please and thank you, all the common courtesy stuff, because it really does pay to be kind to other people. So I'll see you guys later. Peace.